Welcome to Monday Night Live, the weekly training that guides professionals to financial prosperity. Join our community and start building your wealth.
Let's go ahead and get started here. So, guys, Jonathan Berryhill, is it okay to call you John, or you normally go by Jonathan?
John's fine. That's what my wife calls me.
Oh, we're privileged. Holy cow. And-
Yeah.
but guys, I just want to very quickly tell this. I interviewed John on the podcast, and I'm going to let him tell his story because he'll be much better than I can. But I was so intrigued by his life story and what he's doing in real estate right now. I mean, he's got multiple businesses and locations, lots of family members involved. He really is living the dream. It's just amazing. So right in the podcast, I invited him to be on class. That's how so impressed I was. So you guys are in for a treat tonight, and definitely be ready, willing, and able to take notes. And if you could use the chat box for posting questions, I'll monitor the chat box. So John, first off, welcome aboard, man. I'm so glad to have you. You know.
Thanks, Gary. Appreciate it. I'm excited to be here.
Yep.
You let me know when to start, and I'll introduce myself. But I'll go ahead. You go ahead. Let me know when.
Yep. Well, let's go ahead and kick this one off. And if you could just tell them a little bit about your background, because that'll create the context, and everything else will make a lot more sense, and it'll be even more impressive, you know. So
Yeah, that sounds good. No, I've done a few of these. And so I'll go ahead and jump in. Well, let me tell you this. Today is my son's birthday. So once I get
oh,
done, I'm going to wrap it up and I'll probably get off here and let you guys finish up. But
good.
guys, good evening. My name is Jonathan Berryhill. I'm a husband to my high school sweetheart of nearly 30 years. I'm a father of six amazing children. And Papa John to four beautiful grandsons. Just one just got home here on the farm yesterday, so we're super excited to have him. But my family and I, we live on a couple hundred acres here on a farm in North Alabama, just south of Nashville, Tennessee, right
Mhm.
outside of Huntsville, Alabama, where we raise quarter horses. We are literally enjoying a lifestyle that my wife and I have worked hard over the 30 years to build. But before becoming an entrepreneur, I served in the Army as an infantry sergeant. I deployed to Bosnia and later worked in law enforcement and narcotics. I lost quite a few friends and decided to get out of that because it wasn't real good on my marriage, also. And so I needed to get all those things straight in my life. I also had the opportunity to play some college football here at the University of North Alabama. All these experiences taught me discipline, perseverance, leadership, the importance of surrounding yourself around other hardworking people. And today I wear several hats. As Gary said, I'm a broker. I have three different real estate brokerages. We have multiple offices in multiple states. I am authoring a book called Warrior to Wealth, which is going to be released in July. And that's built around helping people find their mission, forge their identity, and build their legacy. You can learn more about that at johnberryhill.com. That's JONBERYHILL.com. I'm also a real estate consultant, mentor, coach, broker, and investor. In addition, I own a government contracting company that helps provide non-opioid medical devices to veterans and others dealing with pain, anxiety, various health challenges. My son-in-law runs our DME company here in Alabama and Tennessee, where we provide orthopedic braces and stuff like that. So you can see I've got my hands in a lot of stuff. But I entered real estate industry about 5.5 years ago. I was literally laying in bed during COVID watching, and I saw this thing. Wouldn't you like to become a land professional? And I said, man, I'm buying land now. I'm buying vacation homes and selling them. And I love outdoors. And I said, you know what? Why not? Let's just add something else to the mix. And let's see if everything that I've done, I can apply these same measures. Well, let's fast forward 5.5 years. Last year, I closed $40 million in real estate sales, and that's across residential, land, commercial. Today, we operate three real estate brokerages. We have 50 plus agents. And right now, we're in two states, fixing to be in four. And we currently have two offices. Tonight, I want to talk about not awards or closings or transactions, but something that I've learned is that will completely and can completely transform your business, regardless if you're brand new, just got your license, or been in the industry and just maybe burn out looking for something fresh. So I always tell the first thing I do when my agents come on board, and I say, you do not want to be a secret 007 agent in this industry. Okay. Most people come on, they get their real estate license, and they remain what I call as a 007 agent. You're a secret agent. No one knows you exist. So tonight we're going to talk about something that I see over and over again with agents all across the country. Too many agents are operating like 007 agents. And if you are, that's okay. I'm gonna give you some tips and stuff to not do that, unless you're in the CIA, Secret Service, Special Forces, all crazy stuff that I've had some ties with. I understand if you need to remain as 007 agent. I'm not sure why in real estate, but being invisible for those is good. But for real estate, being invisible is one of the fastest way to go broke. So if you're looking for listings and you're looking for people to represent you, and it could be different for investing, that's a totally different game. What I'm talking about tonight is literally people thinking about you when they get ready to list a property or they get ready to buy a property. People cannot do business with you if they do not know you exist or what you do. So let me ask you a question, and you're going to think, well, of course, this is just bear with me. Does your mom know you're in real estate? Does your dad know you're in real estate? Your cousins, your neighbors, your church family, your hunting buddies, your fishing buddies, your kids' ball team, people you went to high school with? And most of you are probably saying, yeah, they do. But some of you may say no. And so if that's the case, then you still may be invisible whether you answered yes or no. So one of the biggest mistakes as agents that we think is, we need more leads. We need more leads in the pipeline. Visibility creates opportunities, and opportunities create conversations. Conversations create contracts, and contracts create commissions. The average person may not need to buy or sell a house today, but when they do, who are they going to think about? That's the whole game of being a real estate agent. And so most people, when they come on board, I just had a young lady come on board, had zero transactions, and she changed over to our agency. And I asked her a series of questions, and all of them were no, 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 no. So this is what we taught her. And now I think she's on like her 8th transaction this year so far. Excuse me.
Nice.
So again, the person that people see consistently, not the best agent, not the smartest agent, not the agent with the most designations. It's the agent they remember, the agent they see, the agent who stays top of their mind. And so I always like to bring up billboards. Think about billboards. Why do companies spend millions of dollars on billboards? Number one, a human doesn't have to go flip it on because he'd probably call in sick a couple of days a year, so it never would come on. There would be no consistency. So we know billboards work because it's impressionable and it sits there every day and just imprints on you. You drive by, you see those. And I'm sure probably one of you could probably think of a billboard in your area that you go, I see that thing every time. It could be an attorney. It could be, pest control guy, but that's the reason billboards work. It's not because, you buy something the first time you see that sign. It's because you see it every day over and over. So we know that visibility creates familiarity, and familiarity creates trust, and trust creates business. Now, social media works similar, but even better. And so I'm going to share with you how my social media experience with just Facebook. We're just now working on Instagram. We're just now doing some LinkedIn stuff. So I'm going to share with you my Facebook experience and how I've got over 8,000 followers now, and I literally get leads from it weekly. And that's how I built my real estate business in the first 5.5 years. Here's the bottom line. You get to tell your story, and people go, I don't want to share much on Facebook. I don't want to share much on social media. If you post it every day, it's 7 seconds of your life. I don't know about you guys, but there's over 600,000 seconds in a week. And if you could put 7 up there, then you could be the one that they think of when it comes to it. So you get to build relationships, you get to create conversations, and that's where many agents mess up. They flood their page with listing after listing, just sold, price reduction, new listing, open house, just listed, price reduction, sold. And so what it sounds like, remember, social media is more personal. Billboard isn't. So billboard, we want that. Social media, you want personal. You're trying to get people to know who you are. And so if you're constantly doing that, you guys have heard, you guys remember watching Charlie Brown and the adults that goes, wah, 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 wah. That's what happens. That's exactly what happens if you're just sitting there just pounding something on social media. And you guys probably know some of them. If you're on Facebook, you probably know some of them. And you're like, oh gosh, same thing. So I'm going to tell you what we've taught, and my wife and I, we taught social media to a direct sales company before. Well, as you may know, I'm an MLM, and we've seen people change their lives in doing so. So we know this, that people want to do business with like-minded people. So what you believe, what you stand for, what you enjoy, what matters to you. This is where you're going to hear me say, what are your pillars? And so for me, for instance, I'm a husband, I'm a father, I'm a grandfather, I'm a U.S. Army veteran, I'm ex-law enforcement, I'm a man of faith, I'm a farmer, I'm a horse guy, I'm an outdoorsman. So if you go on social media, you're going to see that, especially on Facebook. Again, Instagram, we're doing some experimentation with currently because we're not rushed to have to really push that out there, but you want to have some pillars because people need to know who Gary is. So like, or Jonathan. And so if you look on my page, you're going to see outdoors, you're going to see horses, you're going to see my family. You'll probably see us traveling because those are things that I love to do. And the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to create connection with people. And so we know that people connect with people who are like them. You attract what you project. And most of you're going to hear a lot of this. If you read any kind of leadership books, you're going to hear a lot of the same repetitive stuff. And you know why? It's because it works. Here's the other thing is I tell folks is be authentic with who you are, because authenticity is what you want to attract. If you're authentic, you'll attract authentic people. If you're family focused, you're going to attract family focused people. If you're faith driven, you'll attract faith driven people. And Gary, let me know, like I said, if I need to stop, someone's got a question, just let me know.
Okay.
You don't need to know everyone like you. You just need to know your people. You just need your people to find you, and they can't find you if you're invisible. Now, just like anything, it takes discipline. Again, you would think that posting 7 days a week would not take discipline. It takes discipline. There's going to be days where you're like, I don't want to fool with it. So what we teach is, 1 day a week, you plan out the next 7 days. And I'm going to go into that down later, of how we plan our post. So in 1 day, you can plan 7 different posts, and literally now you can schedule them. You just want to check for messages or comments, and you want to engage. And if you really, really want to expand, I'm going to go into more about that. So again, here's the formula that we've come up with: 3 to 5 posts per week about you, who you are. So again, you're going to see me riding one of my quarter horses, maybe at a show somewhere. You're going to see me outdoors with maybe my grandson. So again, 3 to 5 posts about your pillars. 2 to 3 posts a week are going to be about real estate. Okay. This is where you're going to be talking about, what you want the world to know you can do for them. You can represent them as a buyer's agent. You can represent them as a listing agent. This is the opportunity to educate people on what you do. And that's only 2 to 3 posts a week. The rest of the time, it's building who you are. Always say your identity. Your identity is who you think you are. You lean into that. And so the personal content creates connections. The real estate content creates credibility. The combination creates clients. Think about it. Excuse me. If I see you posting pictures of your family, your hobbies, your community involvement, and your faith, your travels, your life, and then I occasionally see you helping clients buy and sell property, now I know who you are. Now I'm going to trust you. I'm going to like you because I see things that you're doing that I like. And so when I get ready to want to list a property or buy a property, guess who I'm probably going to reach out to? Someone who's a lot like me, who I feel like I have a connection. That's the magic. You don't have to be a social media influencer. Literally, I've seen people with 300 followers get 20 to 30 clients in their first 6 months off of social media with just a few hundred followers. And why? It's because they're authentic, and they're visible. That's the key. Another mistake agents make is treating social media like a billboard instead of a networking event. Because let me tell you, social media is not just a place to post. It is actually a place to engage. So think about this. You can attend networking events every single day without leaving your office by joining groups. So again, I teach folks, especially there's stay-at-home moms or dads that have to be home. I say, hey, listen, Go on to groups. I'm part of a lot of horse groups. I'm part of a lot of hunting groups because I like to hunt and fish. And guess what? I get connections with those every day. I comment on their post. I congratulate people. I encourage people because I'm a big firm believer that true leaders in the world make people feel good. They make people feel special, and it's not fake. It's authentic. I love to make someone smile. Um, and you're going to ask questions, start conversations in these things, try to get to know people. Think of it as like going to an event, but you're doing it from your computer. That's what's amazing about social media. You can attend 10 events or groups on social media per day without leaving your office. I'm telling you, it is social media to me has generated hundreds of thousands of dollars in commissions in a year, in 12 months time. And I continue to do it and do it again, but only if we engage. So stop scrolling, start participating. Is everyone here on Facebook or social media? Maybe a thumbs up or something.
Most of us, yeah.
Yeah. And so, if you're looking for clients, again, if you're investing or something like that, you can really gear it toward that as well. But what we teach is mainly for, the listing agents, the buyer's agents and stuff like that to pick up those clients. And so far it has been phenomenal. So again, stop scrolling, start participating. Every comment is an opportunity. Every conversation, every direct message, every relationship you build on social media is an opportunity to potentially get a new client. Also, referral agents. I just had a lady reach out to me and she asked, would I do a referral fee for her to send someone? I'm making the connections right now. We just signed the paperwork because she saw me on social media. So there's me another client. Again, conversations create contracts, and that's what we got to remember. How can we have the most conversations? Social media is amazing for that kind of stuff. Not logos, not business card, conversations. And again, I built most of my business through Facebook starting out. Now we're engaging doing other things on LinkedIn. I haven't really got on TikTok too much, but we're looking at all of them. I've got a media team now that we're really geared in. I think our five brokerages, our three brokerages this year, we're projected to hit around $100 million in sales. So I think if we can ramp up the social media with adding TikTok and adding YouTube, which is additional stuff, we're going to even grow bigger. It's again, the consistency and showing up is where agents or don't get, the visibility. So what I did is I engaged consistently. I built relationships consistently. I started making it fun. I enjoyed it. And over time, those relationships have turned into a number of opportunities. Those opportunities have turned into leads into closings. And again, most agents are looking for a magic lead source. Well, guess what? There's not one. This is the best you can get is visibility, relationships, conversations. And when people think real estate, they need to think you. Excuse me. A lot of this rain. I don't know about you guys, but we've been having a bunch of rain and it has pushed a lot of the pollen and stuff around here and it's got me all choked up. But when people think of real estate, my goal is them to have to think Jonathan, not because I'm constantly selling, but because I'm constantly showing up. I'm not trying to be famous. I'm just trying to be known. I want to be known by, and you should be known by your community, your sphere, your network, your market, the people, the agent people remember is the agent that people call. And that's what you got to remember. Again, I say it over and over again, but that's the truth. When someone is ready to list or buy a home, and it's the same thing when I got started in medical device sales, it got government contracting, all that. The ones that were at the front of their mind, whether it was through phone calls, texting, social media, that is who they call. So, I'll tell agents all the time, stop waiting until you have the perfect listing to post. Don't wait until you have the perfect video, the perfect content. Just show up, tell your story, share a little bit of your life, share your expertise, build relationships, create conversations. Because again, conversations create contracts. And remember that visibility creates opportunities, and opportunities create the conversations, which conversations create contracts. So that's the whole goal, is to get visible. Social media is the best platform, in my opinion, to become visible and quick. And again, I've had a lot of folks, and maybe this is you, to where you go, well, I don't like opening up my life. Again, 604 seconds in a week, and you're going to share 3 to 5 seconds of that week by just a snapshot of a picture and whatever you want to share. It could be about, something that it could be about knitting. Hey, I just knitted this beautiful sweater. It could be about anything. But you want to be authentic, because again, when you meet these people and you start talking horses or you start talking hunting.
Want to learn what's working right now in real estate? Then don't miss Monday Night Live, happening every Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern. Each week, we bring you expert training on real estate investing, agent attraction, lead generation, marketing, and AI-powered strategies to help you work smarter and scale faster. You'll also hear inspiring success stories and lessons learned from some of the most successful real estate leaders and investors in the industry. Whether you're a brand new agent, a seasoned investor, or building a high-performing team, there's something valuable for you every single week. Learn, network, grow. Save your seat today and join us this Monday at 7 p.m. Eastern Standard Time for Monday Night Live. We can't wait to see you there.
I'm also, like I said, I'm ex-military, so I get in a lot of ex-military groups. If they're relocating, I let them know, hey, I'm ex-11 Bravo, ex-infantry sergeant here. How can I help you? Hey, I'm ex-law enforcement, police officer, love to help you. Why is that? That's because I'm creating credibility. You need to create credibility through these groups, because everyone has a past. Everyone has a hobby or something they enjoy doing outside of real estate. I think, most everyone I've met's got something that they love to do. So again, the whole goal of social media is to become visible. I'm on Instagram. I'm on LinkedIn. My Instagram is john.berryhill. My Facebook is Jonathan Berryhill. I think LinkedIn's Jonathan Berryhill. Again, you can go to johnberryhill.com and find all my links, and you can read about my book coming out. I do have an agent blueprint playbook that all my agents get. I've sold a number of them and have great feedback, and that's on Instagram. And if you guys have questions or anything, I'm here to answer. Like I said, I started this 5.5 years ago. We're 55 agents, 3 brokerages, and we should hit well over 100 million in sales based on where we are right now this year as a whole. So that's really all I got. I'd love to answer any questions. Shoot me a message, on Facebook or any of that, or Gary, you guys got any questions now?
Well, first of all, that's pretty impressive, especially where where you are in Alabama. I mean, if you look at the median prices around the country, hitting 100 million it's a major feat, no matter where you are. But when you're in a market where the median price is less than LA, San Francisco, New York, Miami, and so forth, that's quite a feat. But I do have a question, probably a couple of them actually, and you guys chime in. If you want to use the chat box, use the chat box, and I'll read them out for John. But as far as the content, so do you generally promote like when somebody gets a listing, when there's a closing, you post those, and happy birthday, things like that. How do you generally determine the content, and does it change over time, like what you post?
So on a weekly basis, I sit down and I go, okay, this week I'm going to share usually about, unless I know there's an event like today. If you'll go on my Facebook, Instagram, I posted about my son's birthday. It's today, and how, I want to share it. I'm excited to hang out with the family on the farm. And guess what that's going to do? I think I've got, we just posted a couple hours ago. I think we've got 50 or 60 comments on it. Well, guess what? That I've got some engagement. I've got people engaging. So we know that the algorithm, Facebook, sees people commenting, liking, hearting, and you doing the same. They're going to expose you to more people. They're going to open up, especially if you're on public, because I have my profile on public because I'm trying to pick up anyone and everyone. And if I don't want to, or if I can't work with them, then I'll tell them, hey, I've got a wonderful agent in that area. Can I connect you to? and boom, they do. Or I get them on the phone, I do a Zoom call with them, or I meet them face to face, or I get them on the phone call. And then what I do is I'll say, hey, can I do a referral? I've got a great agent over in Texas. Can I connect you to? And they usually have no problem with it. It's awesome. So again, you asked me the question about content. So I'll sit down, unless I have an event, I'll kind of write down 3 to 4 things that week that I want to post about, like about me. Maybe it's about one of my horses that won something, or maybe it's about hunting season coming up, or something I did last week, or some travels we did last week. And then the other 3 posts I'm going to design around real estate, making sure people remember, hey, I'm here to help you buy or sell any property, residential, land, commercial. So I kind of plan it out, but that's what I do. I mean, it's simple. I knock it out usually within 30 to 45 minutes.
Okay. Now, do you use any of the automation, like Facebook has like you can schedule posts, so you can if you're time blocking Monday morning, do you take an hour and plot out the week's post, or you just have somebody just do it as the day each day rolls around?
No, we plot out a lot. We use a lot of the automations. And I'll be honest with you, I have a virtual assistant now that actually I have 2 full-time virtual assistants that run a lot of my stuff. Between them and my wife, we sit down and we kind of talk about it on a weekly basis. If you guys don't, if you're thinking, if you've got some money to expend, you can hire a virtual assistant for a few $100 a month, and they will literally do all your social media. You still have to be involved, and that way you're being authentic. But it's been awesome. So we sit down weekly, we kind of go over things. I send them pictures, I give them little bios about these pictures, and boom. And that's how we do our schedule. And we actually schedule out 3-4 weeks in advance. And like I said, if there's a special occasion, we kind of say, oh, I'll handle this. And I still get on there and post sometimes, because I'll say, no, I want to do this. And this is my son's birthday. I want to do that. Or it's our anniversary. I want to do this. My grandson came home. I did that one. So they're all me. It's just someone else is posting it for me, or getting it set on the time.
Yeah. Do you know if they're also using one of the tools for it's basically they're posting it on different sites at the same time. So they're taking the same content and they're using it's like a propagator across Instagram, Facebook, TikTok, all that. Okay.
So we used to, but we're not doing that anymore. So we're changing up, because Instagram's algorithm is now a lot different than Facebook's algorithm. So we're working to really, get those down. So we don't use that one anymore. But there is some that you can do one post and it feeds to all of them.
Right. Yeah, I always wondered if knowing that that's out there, the individual sites might push back on that, because they can sense that it's not because what they want real people posting real content. That's what they want.
Absolutely. Yeah.
Yeah.
And that's why, scheduling your post is great. When I first got started for the first few years in real estate, I mean, literally until last year I was doing it all. I would just schedule it out, because again, I wanted to know how to do it all. And so what I did is I used the same mentality that we taught with our direct sales company, and I just applied it to this. And, our growth is consistently, some weeks we may get a new 100 followers. Some weeks we may only get 20, but we're constantly doing this in followers, and have been for the last 5.5 years. And so again, we're not trying to be a social influencer. We're trying to pull in leads, which is working very well. And again, it's all about authenticity. You have to be authentic, because when you want people to sit down and meet you, if you do go show them a house or a piece of property, they'll go, wait, you're not the guy. You don't have none, no comment in nothing. So again, I'm always talking, make sure what you post is really who you are.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, I learned that a long time ago when we first started. I was, of course, my background in IT, I was trying to find as much automation as I possibly could, and only to find out that the social media platforms didn't like that, and it cost me valuable time. But we just focused on real people and real events, and doing it ourselves. It the the rest of say is history. Now we've got like 1,300 videos on YouTube. Oh, do you also use YouTube for your team?
We have not. We've got some. We're starting to really look into that. I mean, I wish I had. I honestly wish when I got into real estate 5.5 years ago, we would have used all of them. I believe we would probably be at 200 agents, and who knows what sales. Um, Again, we're looking for the experts in like the YouTube without breaking the bank. You know, we're looking for someone that specializes in YouTube. We've got a pretty good team on our Instagram that it's working. My Instagram's built majority around real estate and entrepreneurship, and then also promoting my book, Warrior to Wealth. So it's coming along, but we're still finding out that the algorithm's way different than Facebook. Um,
Mhm.
I see here some questions. How do you help them with breaking their privacy? Again, if it's a what I say, I ask folks on the real estate world is, you know, did you get in business to only do business with your family and friends? If so, then don't create, you know, public profile. But if you got in, you know, to real estate world to you want to represent as many people as you can, you know, you don't have to do anything like super private. Like, you know, me at first, I was just focused on hunting and fishing. It was just me, you know, out there, you know, hunting in a tree stand. You can scroll through some of my Facebook posts. You'll see me hunting, you'll see me fishing. And it was mainly just me. Again, it's just a second photo, and I would talk about it. And then the other 2 to 3 posts would be all about real estate and how I could help them. So, you know, that's what I tell them. How to be authentic is, you know, maybe just focus on your hobbies and your likes. You don't have to talk about your family if you don't want to. I
Mhm.
like to deal with other family oriented people. You know, we homeschooled our children. I'm very boisterous about that because I like, you know, we're proud of that. My son went and played college football and he was homeschooled. He got a scholarship. So we're proud about those things. So we like to
Mhm.
share those things. How many leads a month do we average? Oh gosh, I wouldn't. I mean, I know in some weeks, I'll get, you know, 30 or 40 messages that will come in. That's just on a week's. I wouldn't know. I'd have to get with my team to see exactly how many. If you're talking about just through social media, and it's mostly through Facebook right now.
Mhm. Yeah. Okay. Um, Another, actually, a couple other things. Just one of Michael Collini was just chiming in earlier. We were talking about the relationships and A.L. Williams. I love listening to him speak. A.L. Williams,
Yeah,
you know, the one he just said, just do it. You know, he was going through
yeah,
all the questions he gets from people. His answer is, you know what, just do it. That's how you learn in real estate. We can read all the books on the planet, but when you implement, that's when you actually learn intimately what it is you're doing, and it becomes grounded. But he's just saying, excuse me, L. Williams, making people feel important and building relationships, which leads to business. You know,
hmm
and it's true, and that's something that comes naturally to us. So why not just do what comes natural to you? You know.
exactly.
Let's see, Kathy's saying thank you, by the way, for doing this, and she's a great mom, and she wants us to go enjoy your son's birthday. So
Well, thank you.
yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
absolutely.
Um,
Any,
and, yeah, Kathy also has a question. Do you have an idea how many, like the average number of leads per month you generate through the social media efforts?
that's what I was saying before. Is you know, there may be one week I get 30 or 40 messages, so I don't know exactly monthly. I'd have to go to my team and see what that is and check our CRM and see, you know, where they came from. But I know just individually, me, 30 or 40 will come through some weeks, and some weeks will only be, you know, 5 or 6. But I'd say on average, I would say at least 25 messages a week, someone asking me a question about
Mhm.
real estate.
Okay.
John, do you want to change that to closings per month?
You're asking me how many closings per month?
Yeah, that are you're getting from social media, since you don't know quite how many leads you're
I
getting.
I would say a good handful for sure. I
Okay.
would say, you know, a half a dozen or more closings for sure off Facebook. I know I've got 3 or 4 this week that I know are directly off Facebook. There, one's a Army veteran, special forces guy. So yeah, it all depends. And again, I'm sorry I don't have that data.
That's all right. I
Wasn't sure wasn't
didn't
sure
know if
how
you
long
would
I
or
was going to
not.
be out here. Yeah.
Well, the good news is the return is infinite because everything you've described so far doesn't really cost anything, you know? I mean,
That's the other thing. Yeah,
yeah.
billboards cost money and social media is free. It just costs your time. And if you
Mhm.
plan your time correctly, you can spend 30 minutes and have all your posts for the week done. And then you
Yeah.
just check. And oh, Connie said, do you have a separate business page? We do have a separate business page for our brokerages. Yes. But again, this is my personal page because I want them to do business with me. I do recommend that if it is going to be, you're going to really do it like I did, is to make it a business page and really brand it yourself because you want people to do business with Connie. And, I want people to know and know who Jonathan is. And the reason I say that, because if your page is a business page, there's more tools and stuff that you can get to link to Facebook down the road once you start growing to create a lot more automation.
Yeah. By the way, I do have an interesting rule of thumb that I got from somebody in my personal sphere, but different. They have an accounting business, and what they decided to do was when they started having children, they didn't want to have their children as infants out on Facebook. Like with a lot of, I mean, I would naturally do that. It's my nature is to share. Hey, look, I got a brand new grandson. Um, for example. But with these folks, the rule is if if whatever they post, if it's something that happens outside the house, like they're playing tennis or playing golf, or they, you know, whatever, help a friend build a house or whatever it is outside, they'll post it. But if it happens inside their home, they don't post those things, which includes their young children. So that was a pretty good rule
Yeah.
of thumb for them. Keep the privacy, the things that were important to them to keep private and use for public consumption. Everything they're already out there on a golf course. Is going to have dozens of people you're going to see across the 18 holes.
Mm-hmm.
Um, so that was pretty good. Um, hey guys, any more questions? Because I have another big one for John based on something he mentioned earlier. But if you do, just type him in. But so John, you mentioned earlier that you have a blueprint. Is that the book, or is the book and the blueprint separate things? Or
They're two separate things. So I created the agent blueprint playbook, and it's on my LinkedIn. I'm sorry, it's on my Instagram profile. And
okay,
my handle is John Jon.Berryhill, Berryhill.
okay,
I give it to all my agents, but it is available for purchase. I've had a number of agents buy it. I've had 5-star reviews, great feedback. The book I'm writing is Warrior to Wealth. That talks about everything entrepreneurship. I focus on, finding your mission, which most
mhm,
people may say your why. Yeah, what's your why? So
mhm,
finding your mission, forging your identity, and then building your legacy. And it talks about everything from where I started as a child from a broken home, being on my own since I was 15, to my marriage being in shambles and being in combat and all these things, and using everything that I had experienced that was either negative and some positive. And I don't know if you guys have ever heard the saying of this, but anything negative, instead of
mhm,
carrying it around in the trunk of your car, put it in the gas tank and use it as fuel. And that's what I
mhm,
did. I took those things.
mhm,
I got tired of thinking about I got tired of living a negative life. I was like, what? And I'm doing it to myself. I was carrying around all
mhm,
this garbage in the trunk of my car. And I said, I'm about to turn this stuff into fuel. And I got my marriage right. I got my life right with the Lord. And I started focusing on where I wanted to be. This was
mhm,
20 years, 20 something years ago. I'm 48. I'll be 49 next or in August.
mhm,
I wanted to, my why was so big. I didn't know where to start. I just took a leap of faith. And so I wrote this book to hopefully inspire others, to give hope to someone that was like me and needed somewhere to start or needed someone to be able to say, hey, me too. I want to do that. I'm changing right now today. And so, that's what the book's about, Warrior to Wealth. Again, it's on John Berryhill. You can go put in your email, johnberryhill.com, and you'll get little drips from the book. We'll be launching that in July, end of July. I've also been invited to the Emmys in September to show my book
awesome.
there, and a lot of the some of the movie stars they come through. I'll get to talk and share my book with them. So I'm pretty excited about it. You know, maybe somebody's having a bad marriage, maybe somebody that just doesn't know what their identity is. You know, you read this book, you're going to understand what the true meaning of identity is. And just to share with you guys, people say, well, what is your identity? So as a soldier, you either accept the identity of a soldier or you go against it. The ones that accept it as a soldier excel and they get ranked fast. The ones that go against it usually they flunk out. And you guys have known people like that. It's like, man, you're gifted at this. Just lean into it. Just lean into that. And so, you know, I tell folks, as a father, you want to be a good father, lean into it. You know, don't go against it. Lean into the things that you want to be. And there's how that's where you'll start creating your identity.
Yeah. Hey, PF's got a question here. There are certainly people that don't want to be, you know, on camera pictures and videos and things like that, which of course that's a big part of social media. And I know people that they're like that, you know, personally. So any suggestions there? I mean, you ever come across that with folks on your team?
I've had very few. I've had one or two. Again, that literally she said she only wanted to do business with family and friends. So I said, just make your Facebook private and just share with family and friends. The second one was, I said, until you get warmed up, maybe you just do quotes, maybe get known, you know, maybe put a picture of you doing quotes. If you don't want a picture of you, then, you know, my recommendations probably don't have a profile period, you know, because as you know, you can search someone's name and first thing pops up, boom, Facebook, you know, their profile. So, you know, but I understand, you know, some people just like to get on there and scroll and stuff. And, you know, like I said, maybe social media is not for you. But I would say for majority of the real estate agents looking for listings and buyers, that social media can be their best friend.
Well, I have an interesting proposition for you. So PF Jimenez is actually Pedro. You can't see it right now, but he's going to be president. We're gonna, it's a certainty. PF's going to be President Pedro. And what I'm wondering is if on Instagram, if people ain't connected with you, and then all of a sudden you're publishing your book and everybody's like, you know, the future President Pedro, you know, what kind of deal can we get on that blueprint? Who here would like to have that blueprint that John's been talking about? Yeah. So what can we do? What can we do? How can we sweeten the pot to make it worth their while for the team to have the blueprint? And we're very unique. You know, we're all competitors, of course, but I don't even think we have anybody in your territory. But our model is more of a global model. We work with a lot of investors and, you know, around the U.S. and the country. And I'm happily played around, but I'm actually happily serious because I'm pretty sure. Hey, look at that! There's a Franklin right there for you. You know, can you see PF's?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Yeah. What I can do is Gary, I can get with my team and create a coupon, and like I don't mind doing a 50% off coupon for anybody, and I'll send that to you guys. I'll send it to you, Gary, and you send it out. How do you want me to send it to you?
Yeah, you could just use my email. I think you and I we're on a couple emails back and forth.
Okay.
With Sugar and yeah.
Perfect.
And
I'll get that. I don't know how to do it, but I will have my gals. They'll get it done, and I'll get that to you guys.
Well, look, there's his T-shirt. Hold it up again, Pia. Look for Pedro.
There you go. That's it. That's awesome. Well, guys,
he's one of America's good guys, Father. He's also a veteran. So thank you both for your
awesome. Absolutely, man. Thank you, brother, for serving. Hey, guys, it's been a pleasure. Please reach out, connect with me. Would love to. I will get you guys a 50% coupon discount for allowing me to talk and you guys hear my story. I appreciate you guys. I hope you guys go to johnberryhill.com and put in your email, see the book as it comes out here in July. And other than that, you guys have an amazing week, and I'll talk with you guys later. And Gary, I'll get that to you tonight or first thing in the morning.
Sounds good, John. Listen, God bless you and your family, and happy birthday to is your son also? What's his name? Jonathan?
His name is Adam.
Adam. Happy birthday to Adam. And I appreciate the connection here and the relationship. And I'm hoping we'll cross paths again sometime in the future. You know?
Oh, I'm sure we will. We'll get back on a podcast or something. But, I did want to share one thing. So out of my 6 kids, Adam and Millie are the two youngest. So he just turned 17. Millie's 14. The other four all work for the company in one of the companies, and their spouses also work for the company. So we're again, I say that because part of my legacy was I wanted to have a family legacy for my kids and grandkids to work. So I appreciate
Yeah.
all you guys. God bless you. And I appreciate
Yeah.
everything. Thank you.
You
Thank
got it.
you.
Thanks, John.
All right. Bye-bye.
And guys, if you want to, it's about 10 till 8. I'll stay on. If does anybody have anything you're trying to solve, a client, a transaction, you know, negotiating. I mean, if we had, I'll give you an example. One of our transactions, and this is I've seen this twice now in the last couple of weeks. The appraisal came back I think excessively low, not just like 5 or 10,000 low, but 30 to 50,000 low. And the first one, all we did is we had the agent write the appraiser a very polite professional letter and ask for a revision based on the following information. And then he provided comps, and they were good, legitimate comps. I don't know how the appraiser missed them, but he did. And sure enough, he redid the appraisal, and this was in Myrtle Beach, South Carolina. Um, Robert Hamby, and now the transaction's back on track. They're going to be closing, I think, this week actually. So the second one just came in on Friday. Over the weekend is when we addressed it. Um, in this case, the appraiser did not include two sales that were in the last 5 to 7 weeks in the same neighborhood. You know, and so that's actually a gross oversight. So same thing, right with the other agent jointly writing the appraiser and the banker, the lender who hired the appraiser, providing the appraiser. The lender actually responded and said he was shocked by it. But in any case, if it happens, please let me know, and we'll help you get through it. But I'm more interested to know if it's happening more, because we're not in a recession now. There's statistically we're going to have one at some point in the future. I just can't tell you when. Could be 5 years, could be 10 years, could be this year. Right now, the economy is unbelievably strong. It's able to weather some storms out there, and we just keep trucking right along. Honestly, just look at the Dow Jones Industrial Average. Whenever people start to worry about the economy and reading all the negativity that's in all the papers and stuff, just go to the Dow and see what because those people are the ones that are, you know, really know more about this stuff than probably me, certainly, and most of us. But in any case, the reason I'm saying this is I don't think we are heading for a recession today. I just don't see it. Right? I know that the risk is always out there, but to have two appraisals like that in the same week on the same team is unusual. So I do want to know if that happens so we can track these kind of things. By the way, Michael Collini, thanks, Michael, for saying that. This was a person on Instagram that was saying, record a short video of yourself speaking 6 days of the week, but don't post these. See what you need to do to correct. But on day 7, record a video of yourself and post that. He said it'll help you get over the not wanting to be on the camera syndrome. So that's good advice. Thanks, Michael. Yeah. I know for me, what it was just like the pool, especially if you live in the northern states, when the pool opens up on Labor Day weekend, that water is usually pretty cold. And if you remember as a kid, you're dipping your foot in and you hesitate, you dip your other thing, you finally get so hot you can't stand it. But the reality is it's better just to jump in. Your body gets acclimated within a few seconds. With the video for me, and I know it seems odd because I'm on camera all the time now. When I got started, I just didn't want to do it. And I wasn't comfortable. I would watch myself and I'm like, this is horrible. And if you knew me as a junior high kid with acne and braces, including the headgear, by the way, I mean, that was my transition into adolescence. So I did not want to be in any kid pictures at all. But in any case, I just started doing it. In my first video ever on YouTube, I don't even know if we could ever find it. It was absolutely horrible. But you know what? It worked. I went through a 9-unit building recording all the units, going through all the rents and the expenses, and went up to my truck, loaded up to YouTube right there from my phone, right there on the spot, drove home, logged in, and don't you know, I had somebody giving me a response, and that person ended up buying the building the next week. There you go. So maybe
Wow.
I was convinced from that point on. I didn't have any marketing. I didn't know anything about SEO. All I knew was people were saying, hey, you got to be on YouTube. And that's what I did. So now we got over 1,300 videos on YouTube, and you guys can use them. All right. If you look at some of those videos, particularly like the training modules, there's nurturing campaigns, guys, on our team website where we took the videos for some of the training modules, stripped off all the branding, like Gary Wilson, the team, all the branding was wiped off, and all it is me giving instruction using whiteboards for different, like how to analyze a rental, how to analyze a flip. We did that so you guys could take the videos and brand them. You put them out there on your page, and just you can say, hey, this is my team leader, Gary. I just wanted to give you this lesson because you mentioned something about wanting to flip a home, right? So a lot of that content, it's your guys to use. It's not for me. I'm not in production, right? The calculators, the spreadsheets, they're all in original editable format, Excel, Word, so that you can put your name and your number and your email, not mine. It doesn't make any sense at all for anybody to know who I am. It does make sense for them to know who you are. So when you give them a calculator on calculating cash flow on a rental property, that's something they're going to keep, right? And chances are you can tell them, hey, share it with your friends, because guess what? It has your name and your number and your email on it, right? So do that kind of stuff. And by the way, social media to me is a second level marketing effort. First level is grassroots stuff, knowing your sphere, maintaining contact with the people in your sphere, letters. In fact, Jack and I, by the way, Jacqueline Danger's on the line. Jackie, am I allowed to say anything, or um, as far as what plans are? You're muted, by the way. Yeah.
You can talk, you can tell the news.
Okay. So Jackie was brought in by Rose Michelle. She didn't even know that, by the way, because I called Jackie first. But Jackie decided to join the team today. And one of the things she brought up is her writing notes, right? And remember we talked about that at the beginning of the year? It's one of the primary things you can do is just write notes to people. I keep notes that I receive from people. But in any case, if you guys want to give Jackie a welcome or a hello, that would be great too. But I just appreciate you sharing what you shared today, Jackie, because it coincides with our level 1 marketing, which does not include social media. To me, social media is what you do when you're in production and you have things to share that are business related, as well as personal events in life. Should you choose to do that. And I actually know people on the team right now that still don't have a business page. And it's not necessary. They don't have, it's them in their marketplace. They just want to use their personal page. So whenever you're ready to add to your marketing, just let me know and we'll go through it. And I'll show you the marketing sequence document that we have, the chart, the graphics on your sphere and the marketing levels, so you understand how it all works together. Marketing is a momentum business, and there's different marketing techniques that work well together, and there's others that don't work well together. So that learning on our website, the team website, shows you what marketing goes together and what doesn't, and at what level. There's 4 levels to marketing. Most people are never get out of level 2. It's not that you can't. You don't need to. You don't need to do any more. You're already making plenty of money. So let's check and see if we have any more questions here. So thumbs up. Who is waiting on the SpaceX IPO? Yeah, I've actually been thinking about that. I mean, think about it. Look at all the IPOs since the year 2000. That if you'd have been involved, like the ones that they were promoting heavily, just imagine where you'd be today if you get into those. Look at Amazon. Holy cow! That wasn't even an IPO back then. It already was in up and running. But yeah, it does seem like that would be a pretty good investment. I'm not an accountant. I'm not a lawyer, and I'm not an investment advisor. I'm just a regular guy, but I like investing, and that's something I think has a lot of promise. So, okay, any more questions, comments, guys? All right, if you're on the new construction huddle, please remember that's tomorrow. And Robin, we have two sessions left. Tomorrow, one more, or we have? I think it is 2.
2 weeks
Okay.
left. Tomorrow's week 11. And it's actually a really perfect segue right from tonight's call, because we're going to be talking a little bit about, being authentic and how raw videos are actually more impactful than like in a studio, very strategic ones. So people
Yeah.
respond a lot better to the raw footage, like you were talking about your first
Yeah.
one walking through that building.
Yeah. I forget the saying, but people can sense if you're being real and authentic. I mean, we all can, you know. So why not just be yourself, warts and all. And people will feel like I can trust that person. You're just being yourself. It's not being sneaky or unethical at all. You're just being yourself, And I'll give you a real quick story and then we'll log off here. Most agents, at least in the early days, we learn all this stuff. And then we try to be that role. We buy the cars, we buy the clothes, we buy the watches, and we try to play that role. And it might not be really who we are. And eventually get to the point you realize people aren't doing business with you because of what you drive and what you wear. They're doing business with you because who you are as a person. So just let yourself be yourself. If you can laugh at yourself, you're being authentic. So if you find yourself laughing at yourself, that's a good sign. I can personally vouch for that because I laugh at myself almost daily. So just be yourself, and you'll find out things will be a lot easier for you, be a lot more comfortable, a lot more fulfilling. So, in any case, thanks guys for participating tonight. Not our normal class. Next week, I believe I'm teaching. Let me see, 16th or 15th, excuse me. Yep, I'll be teaching next week, and then the week after that, Naya Bertroka is coming on. We had her on, I don't know how many, maybe 3 years ago, talking about subject 2, and that came up recently also in our learning. So she's a real guru on it. I've met her. I've been to her house. I know the group that she's in. Two of my best friends were students of hers, Rick and Anna. You guys have all heard about Rick and Anna. And some of you were here long enough to remember Rick and Anna teaching a class for us. They learned that from Naya. Okay. So she's coming on then. And good one to invite guests to too, if you want to do that.
And Wednesday
Okay.
is our team meeting.
Oh, thank you, Kathy. This Wednesday is our June team meeting. Remember, it's always the second Wednesday of the month. So Jackie, what we'll do is you might not be through all the process, but if you want to, you're certainly welcome to join us Wednesday night. That's internal. It's just us guys, nobody from the outside. And it's more of a strategic planning level type meeting. So
Thank you.
you're very welcome. So, okay, guys, listen, hope you have a wonderful night. I'm going to go check on my brother. He's recovering from hip surgery, and we tried to get him out of the chair before class. It just wasn't happening. So I gotta figure out how to get him out of the chair and into his bed before I can relax here. So you guys have a good night, and I'll see you on your one-on-ones. Please set up, if you haven't had one for a while, please set up a one-on-one. I'll see you in the huddles, and I'll see you Wednesday night.
Good
Night,
night.
everyone.
Thanks, Gary.
You're welcome. Bye, everyone.
Bye-bye. Good night.
Thank you for watching Monday Night Live. Consider subscribing. Agents, want to learn more? Schedule a call with Gary using the link in the description.